When someone falls out of love, you feel it long before they admit it. It's not the silence that stings the most. It's how their smile fades. This is a story of how I slowly lost a woman I once called my wife. It wasn't just about infidelity. It was about fading into the background, becoming invisible in a home we built together. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I just let her drift away. And today, she's marrying someone else. She even mailed me an invitation. "Don't touch me," she said. Not loud, not harsh, just emotionless, like she was reciting lines she'd rehearsed 100 times. My hand froze inches from her shoulder. That moment scorched into my memory. I hadn't touched her, accidentally or otherwise, in over 6 weeks. No embraces, no hand-holding, not even a shared glance on the couch. She was wearing the worn-out gray sweater I gave her last winter. Her hair was damp, and the scent clinging to her? Not her usual shampoo. Not mine either. It was cologne someone else's. I stepped back, not in rage, but with the unsettling feeling I'd stepped into someone else's life. She didn't even notice. She turned, opened the fridge, like nothing happened. "We're out of almond milk," she said. "Can you grab some tomorrow?" I didn't reply. That's when I saw her phone light up. A message. "Still thinking about this morning. You're incredible." No name. Just a heart emoji. She didn't catch me reading it. Didn't care. I was still standing there. I walked out. No word, just the sound of my shoes on the floor. I passed the garden I planted for her birthday. The mailbox I painted blue because she once said it made her smile. No tears. No shouting. That night, I slept in the guest room. She didn't ask why. The next morning, she posted a picture of her coffee with a caption, "New beginnings." I hadn't left the house, but she'd already left me. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That day, I stopped waiting for her to return. The days that followed were a haze. She walked past me like I was furniture. But I observed her, the way she hummed while texting, the soft giggles over someone else's message. Her phone buzzed often, always silenced, always hidden. I didn't ask. I didn't accuse. I just began gathering truth in silence. Not to argue, just to prove I wasn't crazy. One night, she said she had a watercolor class downtown. It would last 3 hours. I offered to drive. She smiled too sweet and said, "It's okay, Adam. You'd be bored." She hadn't said my name with warmth in months. I waited 30 minutes. Then followed. She didn't go to any class. She pulled into a boutique hotel called the Ivy Nest. From my car, I saw her step out in heels, carrying a tiny red clutch, the kind that only fits lingerie. A tall man in a brown coat opened the door before she could knock. He looked familiar, like someone who had already invaded our lives too deeply. She smiled at him the way she used to smile at me. I didn't storm in. I didn't scream. I took one photo. Just one. Enough. That night, she came home smelling like hotel soap. Her hair was damp again. "How was the painting class?" I asked. She smiled. "We painted tulips." "Strange," I said calmly. "You forgot your brush." She hesitated for a second, then smirked. "You're imagining things again." But this time, I wasn't. I didn't lose my temper. That would have made me look weak. Instead, I vanished emotionally, just like she had. I stopped replying fast. Stopped asking about her day. I canceled our grocery subscriptions. She noticed. One night, she wore makeup to dinner. Another, she laughed too loud at nothing I said. "Do you want to go away this weekend?" she asked. "Just us." I nodded, but I knew. She felt the shift. The man who always forgave, who always tried, he was slipping away. A week later, she was dressed up for a coworker's baby shower. Perfume, lipstick. Before she left, I placed a photo of her and the hotel man in a plain envelope. No note, no name, just the picture. I slid it into the second drawer of her vanity. She'd find it when she was alone, quiet, unguarded. I didn't want a confrontation. I wanted her to face herself. That same day, I packed a small bag and drove 3 hours north to my cousin's cabin. No note, no text, just silence. and for the first time in ages, it felt peaceful. The cabin was still. Trees, wind, my thoughts echoing too loud at night. I didn't bring my laptop. I didn't scroll my phone. For 2 days, I simply existed. I lit fires, read old books, watched stars through the ceiling window. I pictured her finding the envelope, seeing the truth, realizing I knew. When I turned my phone back on, I had 12 missed calls, 6 messages. The first few were soft. Where are you? Just checking in. Then suspicion. Did you go through my things? And finally, please call me. I didn't. Not yet. When I came back, she was standing barefoot in the hallway, pale, eyes red but dry. Why would you leave that photo like that? She asked. I hung up my jacket. You always said you hated surprises. I said, thought this one might suit you. She followed me into the kitchen. Her voice trembled. How long have you known? Did you follow me? Are you going to tell anyone? I didn't shout. I replied simply, your actions told the story. I just stopped hiding it. That night, she made dinner. Candles, wine, chicken, pasta. She sat across like it was an anniversary. Her hands shook as she poured the wine. I thought I could control it, she whispered. That it wouldn't grow. She couldn't even say affair. Just it, as if giving it a name made it too real. I didn't console her. I wasn't her priest. I was a husband she had erased, piece by piece. Later, I found her in the closet, sitting on the floor next to old letters I wrote her. She didn't open them, just stared like they were from someone else's story. I never meant for it to become war, she said. I didn't think it would hurt you this much. And that's when I realized she thought quiet betrayal didn't count. No yelling, no breaking things, so no real pain. When did you stop thinking I mattered? I asked. Her head snapped up. That's not fair. Really? You stopped asking how I was. Walked out mid-sentence. Slept with someone else like I was just a roommate. She was silent, then whispered, I just wanted to feel wanted. It didn't shock me. What did was how little it hurt. The next morning, I packed a suitcase. Just one. Left behind the clothes she never folded. The wedding photo. All the noise. I placed an envelope on her pillow. Inside, a screenshot of the bank transfer. Half of everything. And a note. This is what fairness looks like. I left. No door slam. No dramatic goodbye. Just absence. I moved into a tiny apartment in a quiet town called Rosedale. Beige walls. Dripping sink. No memories yet. Peace felt heavy at first. But slowly, the weight lifted. I started painting again. Clumsy trees. Bad sunsets. But they were mine. I made friends. One of them was Cleo, the woman who ran the bookstore downstairs. She caught me organizing books by color and laughed instead of scolding. We talked, walked, sat in the park. I told her about the divorce in week 2. She said, you don't look broken. You look rebuilt. That stayed with me, because it was true. 6 months passed. I thought of Lena less. Her laugh didn't echo. Her perfume didn't haunt my pillows. The ghost of us finally stopped knocking. I painted more. Ate when I was hungry. Slept when I was tired. Then one morning, I opened my mailbox. A cream envelope. My name in gold script. A wedding invitation. Lena and Marcel. No message. No apology. Just a time and place. She was marrying him, the hotel man, and invited me like I was any other guest. Like we hadn't built a life together and watched it collapse. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I did neither. I drove to the wedding. It was beautiful. Vineyard, white chairs, rose petals, jazz under the sun. I stood under a tree in the back. No one noticed until she appeared. Lena in white, hair curled the way she did when we were young. But her eyes weren't searching for me. They were fixed on him. They looked happy, maybe for real, maybe for show. But this time, I didn't need to read her face. The vows came. She laughed. He kissed her. And when Efficient said, if anyone objects, I didn't move. I didn't blink. I just breathed. I left before the cake. No goodbyes. just the sound of gravel beneath my feet. Back home, I opened my sketchbook, drew the vineyard, the chairs, the light, but not the bride. I didn't need to draw her anymore. That chapter was over. The next day, I mailed her one box. Inside, a photo she'd never seen. Us, 5 years ago in the rain, under one umbrella, laughing like love was unbreakable. On the back, I wrote, "That moment was real for me. I hope one day something feels real for you, too." She never replied. I didn't expect her to. Lena lives her story now, and I live mine. I don't carry rage or bitterness. I carry peace. Not the kind that comes from revenge, but the kind that blooms when you need nothing from the one who broke you. I learned closure doesn't come from them. It comes when you stop asking why and start walking forward. I wasn't her forever, and she wasn't mine. But I am my own peace now, and that's enough.